Avatar, The Last Airbender and the Legend of Korra, beautiful worlds full of balance, wisdom, and villains who made us want to throw our remote at the TV. From tyrants who wanted to crush entire nations to power-hungry maniacs who took villainy to a whole new level. These 10 unforgivable Avatar villains didn't just cross the line, they obliterated it. So, grab your bending scrolls, prepare your best, did they really just do that? And let's dive into the worst of the worst in the Avatar universe. 10. Admiral Zhao. Admiral Zhao exists in Avatar. The Last Airbender season won purely to show that Zuko isn't actually a bad guy when compared to the people he's associated with. Zhao embodies everything wrong with the Fire Nation military, being ruthless, prejudiced, and without any honor. He menaces the gang and Zuko a number of times, but it isn't until the season finale that the full extent of his wickedness is presented. In the Siege of the North, Zhao leads a full-scale invasion of the Northern Water Tribe, intent on killing as many people as he has to conquer it. In the name of fulfilling his goals, Zhao goes so far as to weaken the nation's waterbenders by murdering the moon spirit, eliminating the moon in the process. Not many Avatar, The Last Airbender villains die, but Zhao gets what he deserves when he's taken out by a vengeful ocean spirit. 9. Queen Ho-Tin. Queen Ho-Tin is the only major villain that the Legend of Korra never even hints at having hidden depths. She is simply a snobby and petty absolute monarch who delights in abusing her power. Prior to her death at the hands of Zahir, the series makes sure the audience has no sympathy for the Earth Queen by revealing she ate her father's bear, Bosco. Ho-Tin becomes involved in the plot of Korra's third season due to the emergence of airbenders throughout the Earth Kingdom. Simply seeing this as an opportunity to expand the might of her army, she uses the Dai to forcibly conscript the newly empowered benders. Even children, like Kai, aren't exempt from her selfish desires. 8. The Red Lotus. The Red Lotus, composed of Zahir, Minghua, Ghazan, and Plai, are among the Avatar franchise's most effective villains. A group of anarchists, each representative of one of the four nations, they sought to throw the world into chaos by eliminating all existing power structures. While they aren't fully successful, and 3 of them are killed throughout Book 3 of The Legend of Korra, they do more than enough damage to the world through what they are able to achieve. Aided by his friends, Zahir murders the Earth Queen. While this fate was more than deserved, it nonetheless immediately causes the Earth Kingdom to succumb to instability and collapse. Along with causing widespread pain and suffering, this state of affairs is what enables the fascist takeover over the Earth Kingdom in Book 4. Zahir is also loathsome for his more focused acts of cruelty, as he tortures Korra to the point of leaving her traumatized and paralyzed, and attempts to kill her while in the Avatar state so the Avatar cycle can be broken. 7. Unalaq. Vaatu is the most evil being in the entire Avatar universe, only living to destroy. It speaks to the type of man Unalaq is that he spends all of the Legend of Korra Book 2 aiming to fuse with the Dark Spirit, just so he can have the power to dominate all other life. This is a goal Unalaq partially succeeds at, as he frees Vaatu from his prison and merges with him to become the Dark Avatar. Prior to the start of Book 2, Unalaq lived a comfortable life with a loving family, wealth, and political power. Yet, none of this was enough for him, leading him to incite a civil war between the water tribes on his path to godhood. During his final battle against Korra, Unalaq tops everything else he's done by torturing the Avatar, severing her connections to her past lives in the process. 6. Amon. Amon, aka Noatak, is the main villain of the Legend of Korra's first season and the leader of the Equalist movement. Masquerading as a champion of the non-bending proletariat, Amon only sought to rid the world of bending for his own selfish hang-ups over his past. Likewise, his conquest of Republic City was also fueled by nothing but his own lust for power. Amon's most vile acts are performed against Korra. He not only uses bloodbending against the Avatar to torture her, but also blocks off her ability to use waterbending, earthbending, and firebending. If not for Aang's intervention in the aftermath of Korra and Amon's final battle, the world would have been left with an Avatar solely capable of airbending. 5. Yakone. Not much about the original Team Avatar's adult lives is ever depicted in The Legend of Korra. Everything fans do see of him, however, establishes what a terrible man he was. A powerful bloodbender, Yakone operated as a crime lord in Republic City for years, killing and manipulating whoever he needed to maintain his authority. Yakone's worst-known acts occurred after his empire had already been crushed by Aang. Obsessed with revenge, Yakone raised his sons, Noatak and Tarlok, to be bloodbenders capable of killing the Avatar and conquering Republic City. He tortured and abused the boys for years, even forcing them to use bloodbending against each other. And he only stopped after Noatak ran away. 4. Long Feng. Long Feng serves as early proof that those in power don't need to be from the Fire Nation to be utterly despicable. Officially the Grand Secretariat of Ba Sing Se, Long Feng secretly acted as the Earth Kingdom's shadow ruler, using the Earth King as his puppet, enforcing his will through the Dai Li and his brainwashing program under Lake Laogai. Long Feng hid the existence of the 100-year war from his king and all of Ba Sing Se. Despite only being present in Avatar, The Last Airbender for 6 episodes, Long Feng does a lot to enrage viewers. Most notably, he kidnaps Appa, he murders Jet, and he indirectly causes the deaths of Longshot and Smellerbee. Long Feng's worst act also shows how out of his league he really was on a political level, as his attempts to outplay the Earth King and Princess Azula just lead to the latter conquering Ba Sing Se, leaving him with nothing. 3. Fire Lord Ozai. Fire Lord Ozai is as two-dimensionally evil as villains get. He's a cruel, power-hungry narcissist who abused his wife and both of his children, and claimed his throne in the first place by exploiting the death of his nephew. Ozai exists in Avatar as a soulless monster for Aang and Zuko to overcome, and he fills that role perfectly. Ozai doesn't get much screen time until Avatar, The Last Airbender's 4-part finale, during which he attempts to follow in his grandfather's footsteps. Declaring himself the Phoenix King, Ozai attempts to use Sozin's comet to destroy the Earth Kingdom and kill everyone living there. While Aang stops him from doing this, it's made clear Ozai was going to find it entertaining. 2. Kuvira. All of the Legend of Korra's main villains are meant to represent different political philosophies, and Kuvira embodies the most overtly evil one of all, fascism. Taking the task of reuniting the Earth Kingdom upon herself, after Suin Beifong refuses to claim the responsibility, Kuvira transforms it into the nationalistic and militaristic Earth Empire. By the time she achieved this, Kuvira's goal had expanded, as she aimed to conquer the United Republic and had a giant mecha with a spirit laser cannon constructed to help her accomplish this. Kuvira was ruthless in her tactics, strong-arming all settlements into rejoining the Earth Kingdom, whether they wanted to or not, turning on her own family, attempting to murder Team Avatar for getting in her way, and rampaging with the Colossus through Republic City. By the end, she was even willing to kill her previously loyal foster brother/fiancé, Baatar Jr. The full extent of Kuvira's worst crime is never shown on screen, but it's repeatedly established that she places both political dissenters and those with Fire Nation and Water Tribe ancestry in re-education camps. Prison camps that the Korra comics reveal were also used for scientific experimentation. 1. Fire Lord Sozin. Fire Lord Sozin is responsible for every struggle that Aang, Korra, and the world faced throughout both Avatar series. While originally the seemingly kind best friend of Avatar Roku, Sozin's nationalistic mindset led him to believe the Fire Nation should rule the world. After betraying Roku, leaving him to die on a volcano, Sozin kickstarted a global war that would last for 100 years. Harnessing the power of the comet that would later be named after him, Sozin began the war with his most horrid act, the genocide of the air nomads. While Aang survived by happenstance, Sozin saw to it that not a single airbender residing in any of the 4 air temples survived. Nothing else can quite compare to the magnitude of this atrocity, but Sozin is also responsible for countless deaths in the Earth Kingdom and Water Tribe, and for passing down all his beliefs to his son Azulin. And that, my friends, was a haul of shame worthy of the Fire Nation's worst history books. These villains didn't just break rules, they rewrote them in their own favor and dared the world to stop them. But what do you think? Who was the most unforgivable? And did we miss a villain who deserves to be on this list? Drop a comment and let's debate, civilly, unlike these guys. Before you vanish faster than the air nomads, like this video, subscribe for more epic rankings, and hit that notification bell before one of these villains takes over. Alright, I'm off to meditate with Uncle Iroh before I lose faith in humanity.